across the northeast of Vietnam, and although we have some showers in the forecast for Vietnam, they're not as heavy, not as widespread as we've seen over recent weeks. Still some torrential rain falling from this tropical low. The rain focused across inland areas of Queensland with a risk of flooding, and we'll also see some flooding rain affecting the South Island of New Zealand. The heaviest fall on the western side of the South Island, where we could see 100 to 200 millimetres of rain. The North Island having some drier and brighter weather with temperatures still into the low 20s. That's your latest weather. Bye for now.
Hello, I'm Ross Atkins with Outside Source. This is the extraordinary story of climate change. Vaccines for Ukraine. Let's look at some of the international reactions. Tell us what you've been hearing. In practical terms, what does that mean? And let's just remind ourselves, this is all part of the same story.
Piece the story together with Ross Atkins. Outside Source on BBC World News.
This is BBC News. Welcome if you're watching here in the UK or around the globe. I'm Geeta Guru-Murthy. These are the latest headlines. Britain's government is accused of utter failure over new asylum rules to stop migrant boats crossing the Channel. But Prime Minister Rishi Sunak says his plan is the people's priority.
We're doing what's right. We are acting with compassion, we are acting with fairness, and we are acting to respect the laws and borders of our country.
This is their 5th Prime Minister, their 6th immigration plan, their 7th Home Secretary, and after all this time, all they offer is the same old gimmicks and empty promises.
A BBC spokesperson says one of its most popular presenters, Gary Lineker, is being spoken to after he criticised the government's immigration plans on social media. Kiev denies any involvement in reports that a pro-Ukrainian group was behind September's attack on the Nord Stream pipeline.
I think that investigation of official authorities will describe every details, because it's like a compliment for our special forces, but this is not our activity.
The UN Secretary-General is in Ukraine for further talks on extending a deal to export grain via the Black Sea. He says it's critical. A crime with 2 victims. How gangs in Southeast Asia are forcing migrants to carry out online scams worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Police in Pakistan used tear gas and water cannon to disperse supporters of former Prime Minister Imran Khan ahead of a planned rally where he was due to kickstart his election campaign. And the daughter and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex has been christened at the couple's California home. Hello and welcome. The British Prime Minister has been defending his government's new plan to stop migrants arriving illegally in the UK on small boats. Rishi Sunak told the House of Commons that only the Conservatives would stop the boats, but the Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer, said the government is simply offering gimmicks and empty promises. The measures announced yesterday would effectively ban those who come here illegally from claiming asylum and require that they be detained and then deported.
The Prime Minister says they will detain people who aren't eligible to claim asylum here and then return them. Well, they already tried that under the last legislation. Last year.